Okay guys, welcome back. Video number 3. Today we are going to clean this gorgeous 1883. I believe, yep, it's a 5 centimes. It's a French, from the French Republic. It says Liberty, right? Um, Egalet, what's that? Liberty, equality, and fraternity. I don't know, it's French. I speak Spanish mostly. But this we're gonna clean her up. As you can see, she has a lot of residual dirt and some corrosion. I mean, she is pretty old, right? And you can see the dirt right here, and the dirt in her crown, some in her hair, her ears. So this will help, clean her up. Just I could brighten this up a little bit. Um, all in all, she's in very good shape. I would say she's probably a very good, maybe pushing it to a plus. She's not that fine yet. She would have more details in the reef, right? But I would say she's a very good plus, right? Just raise up some of this brightness a bit. She's a little dark. Okay, how's that? I think that's pretty good right there. A little more on the bright side, right? So if you watch my other video about cleaning, which is my first one, I use a product called Coin Care. It's not bad. I like it a lot. You could get it at I believe it's called Wizard Coin Supplies. So a few bucks. I believe I think I paid, it was either $6.49 or $8.49, one of those. I use 99-cent store cotton swabs. This is the basic cotton swab with the wood core, and I get a pack for $1.69 for 350 swabs. So what we do is what I do is I moisten the coin, and you can see the dirt right there already starting to come off. My microscope, let's talk about the microscope a bit. I'm using a Plugsable, right? That's the name brand. Plugsable. It's pluggable, my bad. Digital microscope. Pluggable. Which is the name brand. I believe you could get it on Amazon for $38.99. Then eBay a little bit more, a little bit less, depends. I bought mine's open box, brand new open box. It was pretty cheap. I saved like 12 bucks, I believe, and it was one of the best purchases so far. Right now I have the microscope probably about, let me see, let me get my ruler, right? The edge of the microscope, right? It's about 3.25 inches from the coin. That's from the bottom of the clear cap, right? Or the clear bezel of the scope, right? And if you want to measure from the top of the scope, it's 7 inches. So it's pretty good. Gives you a nice field of view, right? Close enough, but not too close. Hopefully the music in the background it's good enough. I am pre-recording this cleaning, so If I don't like it, I just redo it on another coin. But so far, I think it sounds pretty good. I did a couple test runs, and I think the music in the background sounds nice. And when I'm quiet, busy cleaning, you're not listening to quiet static noise on the in the background. My mic is basically my Audio One headphones, Bluetooth headphones that I bought off Amazon also. Another great purchase for the price. It was 38 bucks. So okay, so now let's get back to the coin. So I really moisten it. I let I let it sit for a bit. I'm not doing no pressure. It's just the weight of the Q-tip and the weight of my hand, and then I grab your basic toothpicks. I believe these are bamboo, which are great, harder than wood, but still soft. And I just get inside and I start cleaning all the cracks, crevices. Usually I always start from the edges, right? Which I say let's do that. Um, let's see if I can get a little closer, because getting it closer will actually really see a lot of the dirt. Let's bring down, right? So I could really get in and see the dirt in the crevices, right? But let's start over here. And all we do is in small circular motions. Okay, we just go around the ledger. You see the dirt right here pushing off. And we'll just loosen up all that dirt and grime. Um, Dirt and grime is really no good for your coin. Eventually that dirt and grime could eat through your coin, because what dirt and grime promotes is oxygen, right? Well, I should say moisture. Then oxygen because of the moisture, and eventually you'll eat through your coin, and you will have a coin with hitting some holes. Right? It'll just eat through. It almost becomes like verdigris. If if you read or understand copper coinage, right, and how copper coinage suffers through the disease called bronze disease, which is also known as verdigris. Or at least that's my understanding of it, right? And that stuff will eat your coin up. No matter how well you keep the coin, if you have this green, hard, or powdery substance, right? The powdery substance is the bronze disease, and eventually that will calcify and become hard, right? And after the hole has been, excuse me, it throws a little dry. But that's after the hole, you know, is deep enough. Then the verdigris calcifies and it gets hard. You know, eventually when you clean that away, you will have a hole behind it, well, left in its place. Usually, so that could eat right through your coin. And you can have a coin for 20 years, put it away 20 years before, okay, go back to your coin and it has blown a hole right through it. And it happens a lot to ancient coins, right? Ancient Roman, Greek, So this is why I clean, right? I conserve these coinage or these coins because, well, yes, this coin lasted 100 and what, 37 years, 38 years. It could have lasted a few more years, right? It could last several hundred more years, depending on the condition. But I like a coin with no dirt or grime, and I think a lot of people also, so they're afraid. They're afraid to mention or even talk about cleaning a coin because the industry says, well, cleaning is bad. But there's many types of cleaning. You have cleaning with a white brush. You have cleaning with acid, which is okay for silver coins, right? For tarnish and toning. But that has to be done very carefully, right? You know, you can eat right through your coin and you have a planchette left. But this is called conservation, right? I'm conserving the coin, right? And I'm just removing the dirt and grime, bringing it back to its glory. I mean, yeah, she's worn, but why not have a nice, bright, worn coin? You know, PCGS, NGC, Annex, they clean their coins, right? It's a service they offer. You know, and if you have an expensive coin, you know, it's, you know, say a 1837 cat bust, $50, or 1794 flory hair, I believe is a large cent. Those things you get it professionally, super professionally done, right? You know, I am a professional, but PCGS, NGC, they have 30, 40 years. Well, I would say probably 30, 35 years more experience than me. So I actually would not take in a coin of that, value and do this type of conservation on it because I'm good, but I'm not that good. You know, um, but also depends on your coin, right? You know, depends on what you want to bring out, and they understand more of that. I do basic cleaning, mostly just grime and debris, right? Of copper, bronze, copper nickel, aluminum bronze, right? Basic coinage, just to bring out the beauty of the coin. That's it. That's what I do. Exactly what you see here. It's what I do. You know. Okay, I believe we've been through the whole ledger. So now I pass. Okay. Pass it again. I remove. I pass the wet swab again, and I remove all of the loose grime that I just loosened up. You can see it's already coming in nice and clear. And you notice how the patina is still there. In old coins, you want a patina, should be nice brown. I would say this coin probably has been cleaned um, the wrong way, right? Keep in mind that 30 years ago, people used to clean their coins harshly, right? They used to either acid dip them, remove the brown, patina them, and make them shiny again, right? They even sell kits with wire brushes, right? Brass wire brushes, even steel ones, and you could brush off your coins and make them bright and shiny again for your collection. So now I'm taking a clean swab and I'm gonna pass it across the ledger. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Right. And that's why you see a lot of old coins where the surface, right? The surface is bright. Like see the surface of the picture, right? Or the raised, right? The the portrait, the beads, right? The ledgers. All the raised parts are shiny, right? Some of them could be, you know, shiny tones or just a nice shine, no toning. And so back then, what they did was they took an acid and they just passed it over the highlights, or they took a wire brush, steel wool, and they did it just on the tops, right, the highest parts, and that's it. And that's basically how things were done. Then you fast forward 30 years, and cleaning was frowned upon. Let's take out some of, right? And people say it's cleaning, but really it's not. I'm trying to think of the word, but I can't. But when you say clean, cleaning means like that, right? White brush, acid, you make the coin shiny and bright, right? And you turn a coin that is brown like this into a nice bright reddish hue, like a brand new penny, right? But you don't want that, you know. Let's see. Let's some of the dirt now. So what I did was I dried it up a bit so I could see where the dirt is coming from. Okay. So I could lower down some of this lighting. Right. Let's fix that a bit there. Okay. Okay. So I'll just go into all the creases like this, and I remove the dirt and the blind that's hiding right in between. Then after each pass, I basically wipe it off on some tissue that I have behind it. Nice, you know, towel paper. Okay. Let's see how's that right there. And this is how I clean coins, and most professionals, right? Coin Help You. He talks about cleaning coins. Adam Schaefer from Schaefer Numis something. He talks about it also. Coin Geek, I believe, also talks about conservation of coinage. See, this one is scratched. You can see that it's deep scratch, a gouge that somebody did. But it's funny because they did it like, an X. Now, why those things were done, I don't know. I mean, what's going through, these people's minds back then. I mean, think about it. 1883, France was going through its usual, right? If it's not revolution, it's financial. And you never know. There's always somebody angry of something. And that's the beauty of coins, that the history, right? The history behind the coin. Who held the coin, who, what they bought with it too. I mean, this is a 5 centimes. I believe it could be an equivalent. This an equivalent is probably like 5 cents today. Or 5 cents American, right? A nickel. This 5 centimes is, I believe, centimes is probably 1/5 of 100, right? 100 of a total. I believe it's decimalized. But yeah, somewhere around there. But what I like is just bringing out the beauty of the coin, right? Like for instance, you can see it's right, let's see, let's take out some of her dirt in her eyes. And right there you can see how her eyes, or her eye, pops a little bit more. And you can see the lid. Right? To her nose, her mouth, her lips. And then I, pass the toothpick over the outline of it. Right? The outline of the neck and the face. It still has some dirt on it, which is, acceptable. Because we don't want to clean her 100%. Right? Right? You still want to leave some dirt. Not all. Right? Because you can't really get everything out. Right? This dirt is gonna be there unless you pressure wash her. Maybe put it through a sonic cleaner, which people do. I just feel that might damage the coin more. Sonic cleaners have a cage, like a basket, and the coins vibrate on that, and it's one thing for jewelry, but for me, it's not for coins. Okay, I think that looks pretty damn good. Okay, let's bring this back up to do a bigger, wider picture. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna moisten her up again. Right? She's a little washed. right? She's she's really blown out. Let me see, let me lower down some of the brightness on her. Right? You have a 20, so let's bring it down to 15. Then I have my exposure set to -5. And it's pretty good right there. Okay. Okay. But the coin is a nice chocolate brown, right? You see it right there. It's a nice chocolate brown, right? Um, no, I don't like this auto exposure. It's flashing too much. So let's remove the auto exposure. Usually the settings come at 6, but I think 6 is too much, right? I know I should have had all of this set up, which I did. So that I'm not really liking the way it's coming out. For me, it's a little too washed over. But it's a microscope and not a webcam, so they have to deal with it. Right? Yeah, totally just washed over. Anyway, sorry guys, I can't. I have to figure this out. Bring it back up to 20. Right. So let's keep it there. And let's okay. Let's start drying this up a bit. Now the key here, see how she's wet, right? Some people will use this liquid and they either refuse or forget to dry their coins off. And what happens is that when this liquid dries, okay, it makes it shiny and wet. And you don't want that. You want it to look dull but clean. Right? And as you can see, I have a fresh cotton swab. Okay. And you notice, see how it's drying up as I pass it, and it looks dry. It's not wet. And that's the key, right? Just keep on passing your swab, your cotton swab, your Q-tip, whatever you use, to make sure that it's cotton. See it? And right here you can see it over her face, where it dried up nicely, and you can see how she looks cleaned but not parched, right? And she's not wet. Okay, now we're going to take another clean cotton swab. We're going to pass it over the surface again. Concentrate a little bit more around her hair. And you can see it's still picking up dirt, but there's not a lot compared to this one with all of that grime and the initial swab that is soaked in the liquid. Okay. And so we're going at 30 minutes. I'm trying to make the video short. The other ones I did 2 hours, but I did 5 coins. This one I'm only gonna do this one, right? It's 1883 5 centimes. Now let's look at the date. Sometimes there is heavy grime, inside. So let's go in for a close-up shot. Okay, so you can really see where we're going, and it actually looks very nice. Notice no dirt is coming out. And you can see there's some corrosion over the coin. For me, it looks like the coin was probably dug up in a metal detector, right, or from the ground, I should say. Which is how most people find these coins, right? They metal detecting and they find it in the ground. If it's not in a coin bag or in somebody's collection, it's usually found metal detecting. Let's just clean up this spot right here. Now you can look at the letters. The letters look nice and clean. That E, double check that E. Looks kind of dark. I think that's pretty good though. The A, here's a little worn. Even here you can see it. See, it's nice and clean. Oh, you see some corrosion. So I'm just gonna pass the coin, the cotton swab over, drying her up more. Now, if you do this to your own coins, once you're done with your coin, you want to let it sit out overnight, let it air dry, right? Let it normalize. And once it's normalized, then you can put her in your 2x2 flip. Right. Let's see, there's no errors on this coin whatsoever, right? It's not a double die, there's no die cracks, there's no planchet errors. Okay, she looks good. So this is the obverse of the front, and now let's do the back. And you can see the back. Right, you see all the dirt on the ledger. It's right here, right down here, right within the bowl and the reef. So she's dirty. She's a dirty coin, and we're gonna take care of that right now. Okay, let's bring the camera up. Put her in focus. Okay, that's kind of dark. Let's just. Okay, that is good right there. And then we do the same thing. Use the same swab. Right, it's the same dirt from the same coin, so it's not gonna hurt it. and there's nothing um, crispy or hard on the surface, right? So it's not really gonna hurt the coin. It's not gonna scratch it. So, and this, we're gonna moisten it up. I'm just gonna pass little circles. Make sure that all the dirt and grime is softened, right? Okay. Now I'm gonna zoom in just a bit, just so you can have a little better cleaning view, cleaning sight, right? And we do the same thing. We're gonna pass over everything. And you can see the dirt being moved by the toothpick. Okay, you can see where the gloss becomes dull because that is dirt mixed in with the solution. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna work around the ledger, around all the letters. We're gonna go into the fields, but mostly staying around the edge of the coin. We're gonna do that first. I like to work from outside in. And there's always little circles. I'm just using the weight of my hand. That's it. I'm not pushing. Right? I'm not pushing into the coin. 37 minutes. There's about 30 minutes per side. Well, at least 30 minutes for the front on this one. Right? Then we're gonna do a full rotation. You can see where you were before, where you weren't. Right? Sometimes since I'm here, I'll clean up a little bit past the ledger. So right now this is the initial debris loosening. I'm just loosening the debris, nothing special. Just clean up the toothpick a bit, right? Then after this, I will pass the wet swab again. Remove the loose debris, and then there we go, full circle on the ledger. Now I'm gonna start at the bow tie here. And just start working on the cracks and crevices. Okay, we got in here already. And like I said, this is your preliminary cleaning. And then we're just gonna do the reef, right? Let's turn the coin over this way. You can see some dirt right here. I'm gonna fix the saturation's not that bad. It's kind of just like washed big time. But you can see the coin, right? You know, watching it through my monitor, so. And so far, YouTube totally looks different from what you see or what OBS shows you. Right? You notice in video 2, actually no, video 1, I kept on saying how German coin looked green on my phone from YouTube. But then when you watch the full video, the coin looked normal. There was a zinc coin. And zinc is a dark heather gray. So I don't know. just could be my settings, you know. So now we go and we're gonna pass it underneath here. Notice that the back has more surface area. It's smoother, has more fields, right? More fields, so the light really reflects over it. So we're gonna do it in small circles. Now this doesn't hurt the coin. You guys are catching it late. You skip ahead, and you would see once I dry it off. Okay, so now let's debade, right? Debatement. We're removing all the debris that's been loosened up. And then I like to use one of the first 30 Q-tips. Because basically I'm just removing the dirty liquid anyways. You see how it still looks moist. Let me get it inside here. You see all that dirt. Look at that. That is a dirty Q-tip. Okay. Now I will put up pictures. I don't have I don't have a before after picture. I forgot to take it. But I will put up after pictures on my Facebook page. Then this way you can see the coin in its glory, you know, without being blown out with the light of the microscope. Now I'll take a clean, dry, again, new Q-tip or cotton swab, and I pass it again. And you notice that how all of the shiny spots are gone, right? As I pass a clean, dry Q-tip, all the dirt is coming out nicely. It's drying up the solution of the coin care. Okay, I'm just gonna keep on passing it until the coin looks good. Now I'm gonna grab a fresh, right? So semi-fresh. This one is still clean on the other side. And I'm gonna pass it also over. So now sometimes when you do this, you will expose certain flaws, like scratches, you know, dents, nicks. So just be wary of that. Okay, see, I just wanna get in here real quick and see if we have any dirt to push away over here. It's not much. Right? The coin care did a lot of the work. But sometimes on the sawtooth, I can't really get in there, but let's pass some more liquid and let's dry that up. You can see how I just passed it once and dried it up and it still looks wet. So You're gonna pass it again, dry until everything is wet. I mean, everything stops looking wet. Okay, we are at the 45-minute mark. Okay, I think that looks very good. Notice that all the dirt from in between, right? Let's see, did I get it in between here? Yeah, you see there's no dirt really coming out, right? See it? Made for what I could fit my toothpick in. It looks pretty damn good. Notice that I always scrape a bit, moisten, and then dry. And you can see it right there. Oh, now the coin looks good. Wait a minute. Nope, that's just the coin itself. Okay. This one I'm not going to wet. And there we go. Right, it's not right. It's cleansed enough where it's not gonna give you any issues. It brings out the highlight of the coin. Let's see, let's bring this all the way up to the top. So we could get a nice top view. Right, just brighten up the picture a bit. Okay. And you can see it right there. 5 centimes. You see that I would say there's about 95 to 98% of the dirt has been removed. Right? Let's go to the front. Look at that. It's a beautiful clean coin. And this is how you clean a coin. I should say conserve a coin. If you have any questions, just leave it at the comments below. If you like what I do and you like coins, I'm gonna be doing also auctions, um, live auctions. So most of the coins will start at $1. So if you want to stay in the loop, subscribe, like the page, so like the video, so the algorithms will send me up and people will find me more. But yeah, subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.